Hello. Apologies for the late start, but we are here. Welcome to the Booktube Chicks Book Club meeting for December. This month, we are talking about Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, which is one of her holiday Christmas romances. As usual, I am joined by the rest of the Booktube Chicks, Kathleen and Desiree, who are going to introduce themselves in just a moment. Both of their channels are linked in the description below. If you've never been to one of our live shows before, the way it works is for the first 5 or so minutes, we're going to be doing a spoiler-free discussion, just talking about our initial thoughts and our star rating. And then after that, we will go into spoiler discussion for the book. So, Kat, since you're next to me, do you want to go ahead and start?
Okay. This was my first Tessa Bailey book, I believe, and I wasn't sure what what the book is about once I went into it. I knew it was a holiday book, which turned out holiday had nothing to do with the story at all. So um I knew it was a rom-com, and normally I either love or hate rom-coms, and this was one that I definitely did not enjoy. Um there was nothing wrong with the story. I actually liked some parts of the story and the plot, especially about the blackmail thing. I thought that was interesting. But my problem it was with the main character, Melody. I didn't like her. I didn't connect with her. I thought she was very immature. And so she kind of ruined the whole book for me, because I tend to really either if excuse me, if I feel some type of way over the main character, it either breaks or makes the book for me. So I did end up giving this book 2.5 stars. Will I read another Tessa Bailey book? Yes. But this was a disappointing one for me.
Hello, my name is Desiree. You can find me at LibriLabra on Instagram and TikTok while that's around, and Threads and YouTube. And wow, I have so many things. So first, I hate the cover of this book. Chloe, can you lift it up again? Just the cover of this book, for whatever reason, I really did not want to read it.
I like it.
I was just super dreading it, and the fact that I read another Tessa Bailey book and kind of didn't like it. But to be fair to the book, it was a Schitt's Creek retelling, and I read it before watching Schitt's Creek. So I'm still thinking about trying to reread it, because
Specifically the previous one that you had read, not this one.
No, right, yeah, right. The previous one I had read that I just didn't like, but I'm willing to revisit that one. So, the other thing that drove me bonkers was the name of the male character in this book. I could not, every time they said his name, I just wanted to scream. And his name was Beat. So I can't. But that being said, I do agree with Kat that for a holiday book, it didn't feel super holiday-y. But it takes place in New York, and there's a ton of familiar places in it. I think where they have the snowball fight is in Prospect Park, which I grew up right next to. So, in a total shock, I actually gave this 4 stars. So, yeah.
And my name is Chloe. You are on my channel. You can find me most actively on Instagram at Brunette Bibliophile. I am hit or miss with Tessa Bailey. And I actually just rated a different Tessa Bailey 5 stars, but I've been all over the board with ratings for her 3 stars, 4 stars, all that. And, I should have known that because I have only had 2 book club books that I actually liked this year, I should have known that asking for one more was too much. And I gave this book 3 stars. I'm just going to put it out there. It's not a Christmas book. It's not a holiday book. The only 2 things that are holiday about this book are the cover and that
the snowball fight.
Sure, but you could also just say that's a thing.
Sure, true.
And the fact that there was something in it that was supposed to happen on Christmas Eve. That's it. I don't know. I'm just have such mixed thoughts on this. I feel like the plot itself is fine, but there are different elements that don't work. And also it's just not a holiday book. So yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and go into spoilers. I don't know about you guys. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't know about you, Desiree, because you read the most romance between you and Kat. I don't know how you feel about Insta Love, but it's hit or miss for me as well. It kind of depends. But this felt very Insta Lovey, but like inauthentic.
I would not have called this Insta Lovey. So, I guess because I mean, unless that Insta Love moment for you is when they met when they were 16.
For me, it's like more along the lines of like, okay, they met when they were teenagers. Great. Then they didn't interact again for another 15 years. Okay. They come together. She's awkward. Fine. Whatever. But then I feel like it was like very rapidly they were getting naked.
I mean, but that's not love.
But then there was all the back and forth where she's like, no, I can't. And then he was like, no, I can't do this. And it's like, can you guys just figure it out?
Yeah, I don't know. Because usually I don't like Insta Love because it's kind of funny to me. Like, I'll just laugh at it. Like, girl, you just met this guy. Like, what are you doing? And I didn't get that vibe from this. Kat, how do you feel about it?
I agree with Desiree. I didn't get Insta Love vibes, and as someone who read some of the worst Insta Love in YA ever, it absolutely abhors Insta Love. This is not. I do agree, though. I don't remember which one of you mentioned that. There was this lot of back and forth with them, like, oh yes, maybe no, kind of like this game of cat and mouse between the two of them, and it was just like, please just get it over with. You are annoying the hell out of me. But yeah, I don't think there was I didn't get the vibes of Insta Love with this one.
I just
I mean, I get what you mean, like when they
Yeah.
first reunited again after like the 15, 16 years, whatever it was, and then they felt in like this connection between them again in front of everybody. I get what you mean, but I didn't get It's a Love vibes.
Well, you know what I really hated was when they were going to go on the Today Show and he's like, I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? On live TV, no less.
No, that's kind of wild. I feel like we don't talk about that enough, but like I have just seen so many situations where like a guy proposes and the girl says yes and doesn't want to, but she says yes because she's
because
like,
it's
because you're so worried
public.
about, yeah, and like that is stressful. Like I don't think I would say, like, if I was going to say no, I'm going to say no regardless of how you made me propose. But then when you think about it, like, are all these men doing like these extravagant proposals just so the woman will feel too awkward to say no? like that's kind of crazy in and of itself. I don't know. But he didn't propose then, so.
Well, I mean, he was blindsided. Which, okay, so the blackmailer. Let's talk about that for a second. At the beginning, I was kind of curious. I was like, well, who would blackmail him? Blah, 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 whatever. Then we find out it's his biological dad. But I was a little surprised that it was the drummer from the band that ended up being his biological dad.
Well, not even just that, but the fact that he was the whole reason that the band broke up. So he was just like a crappy dude. And that sucks that Beat allowed him to get away with it for as long as he did, because that dude didn't deserve to be paid however he was getting. And like, what kind of dad are you that's what you're hanging over your kid's head? Like,
I think it was just like, I don't know. I think he was just a shitty person.
Well, clearly.
Yeah. But what was the motive? Like, did you need money? Are you just shitty?
Money.
Like,
Well, if the band broke up, then like, you know, probably he wasn't making money the same way he used to.
It's money. Money
Yeah.
is the biggest motivator in
it
the
all
world.
goes
What
back
else
to it
is
sounds
there?
like it's his problem.
Money.
His
Lord.
fault.
He was asking for $800,000. It's money. That's the biggest motivator in the world.
My question to Chloe is, did you not like, because like reading through this, even though there's a romance in it, it felt like the romance was maybe like 35% of it, and more of it was just like the
Yeah.
band and the friendship and the mystery of what was happening and why they broke up and the whole reality
Yeah.
TV show. Is that why it
I
wasn't?
don't know. It felt like the whole book just felt very not well done, if that makes sense. Which, I mean, you know, there are Tessa Bailey books that I really like. I have given her 5 stars on multiple books before. But this one just it wasn't hitting for me. I was like, okay, we have this TV show. Great. Okay. And then it was like everything felt very rushed, very quick. And especially to me, the romance felt very rushed and very, you know, back and forth and all that. And that really bothered me. I don't know. Maybe it's because Fangirl Down was just amazing and I read it last month. But
maybe.
Yeah. Like I'm not writing off Tessa Bailey. Like I still have books I want to read by her. I still like other things. I feel like I'm cursed for book club picks this year.
I feel like I have a couple of, like, I think I have the trilogy of like Fix Her Up and whatever, that like the ebook trilogy. So now that I've enjoyed this one, I'll probably go read those and see how I feel about them, and then I'll try to reread the Schitt's Creek one.
I even still have, she's released 2 Christmas books and I have the other one and I want to read it. It's a lot shorter than this one. I hope it's way better than this one. But I think it was initially like independently published and it recently has come out trad. But I think the new cover that they have for it is really ugly. I like the old cover better.
So again, I really liked that it took place in New York, and I also read both the acknowledgments and her like author bio at the end. And so it said that she lives in Long Island, which I don't know, that just made her cooler in my book, that she like actually lives in New York. So and she's written a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she has. I can't even keep up with all of it. Kat, I just want you to know this is not the kind of romance experience I wanted you to have.
For Christmas anyway.
Because I mean, you've been like slowly reading more romance and you've liked some, so I was like, gotta give her more.
And I was looking forward to like a holiday romance, and then
Same.
and this book it's kind of like that summer book that you chose. The cover gave such summer
vibes, and it was just like family
Exactly.
drama.
Yeah.
And this one, the cover gave such holiday Christmassy vibes, but there was not. Well, there was some, but not a lot.
Yeah, not
and
really.
then you know how like the title also bothered me, because I was like, where's the holiday?
I don't understand why the show was called Wreck the Halls. Just because it's set during December?
I think so. Think so. But then you know how like usually in a book, somewhere in there, the author will provide an explanation for why that's the title of the book.
Well, originally in the beginning, it was the show was originally called something else, and then I think it was Melody who suggested. She said something Wreck the Halls, and then the producer of the show, or the person that was doing the show, she was like, "That's a great name," and so she decided to switch the name of the show.
That's a great name for a Christmas show.
So, but
like, I could just see it as like a holiday centric like home improvement show, like a HGTV.
Yeah. Okay.
But so like towards the end of the book, after he's like banged her again, he says something about wanting to wreck her all the time, and I was like, wait, are those the halls that we're talking about? Like, was that
God, no, please.
Okay.
I was like, was the title a sexual innuendo this whole time?
Kind of along that same vein, okay? Did we ever get an explanation of why he never wanted to
I
finish?
thought that was weird.
Me too.
I seriously, I was like, I was reading that in my bed, and I was like, what the fuck? Isn't the whole point the finish line? And then he had this whole weird explanation of him wanting to be by himself or something stupid like that, or never letting people in, and I was like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Like, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum, but like, what was going on?
Maybe, I don't know if we got like a full clear explanation, but maybe he was like, without it being explained, maybe he was demisexual and he was just like waiting to like really care about someone like he cared about Melody.
I guess, but still, he couldn't he just said that? Like,
So it sounded like he was trying to give himself some sort of punishment for like something that was beyond his control.
I mean, maybe that too. But I was reading like reviews on Goodreads, and Chandler Ainsley had read this book and reviewed it, and her review said, "All I want for Christmas is a guy that doesn't come?" Question mark. I just thought that was
I was
really
reading
funny.
reviews too because I was like, this is a low rated book. What's going on?
But I had to call John when like I finally read, because he was calling her Mel the whole time, right? So I'm like, her name is Mel, Melissa, whatever. Like I wasn't really putting together what her name was, and they have rock star parents, so I was like, okay, whatever. That's why his name is Beat. But at some point he was like, you can't have Beat without a melody. And I was just like, that's a level of cheesy that's just beyond a level of cheese that I'm prepared for. And like John thought that was really funny. He was like, really, that was too cheesy for you? I was like, yes, it was too cheesy for me. And like, you know, I was like, I just cannot get over the name Beat. I was like, they could have named him Rhythm, and I feel like that would have been better than Beat. And John was like, John was just like, well, I guess Beat is better than Metronome. And I was like, no, none of these names work.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
I feel like the intention was good, but from a creative perspective, I think it could have been a little bit better. Just that whole, the way they were named, and you know, having one with the other. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anybody naming their kid Beat. Did it not bother you guys? You were just like, it's his name, and you just went with it.
I accepted.
You just accepted it.
In the beginning, I thought it was weird. I was like, this is such a book thing, and no one would ever name their name. But I accepted it.
In Fangirl Down, her main male character's name is Wells, like Wells. So I'm like, okay, that's a weird name, but whatever. But I was also, at the same time reading this, I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, and this one irritated me. His name was Cole Black. and there was actually it was a really good book. Like, I gave it 5 stars, but there was a scene in it where the female character thought his name was Connor, and so she was calling him Connor, and he goes, Cole. And she's like, Connor? And he goes, Cole Black. And she goes, yes, Cole is black.
You know what? I mean, I accepted it. It's not like there are not weird names in real life.
No,
So,
yeah, facts. But like
Kim Kardashian, and with her daughter named North because her last name is West. So I just accept it.
Oh man. I don't know. I just feel like it would be like having a football romance and like naming the character Punt, or like just something like, can't do it. Ugh.
That's hilarious.
What did we think about the moms?
That one was crazy.
Trina?
Like, we meet her and she's just getting arrested.
I'm glad they I was hoping they would reconcile. So
Yeah. Well, I liked Beat's mom because she gave me like Stevie Nicks vibes.
yeah, I was wondering if that was somehow
Yeah.
like
But then
inspired
she
by.
mentions how Stevie Nicks like blessed their bellies when they were pregnant.
That's funny. John at some point was like, when they were talking about how they were kind of pregnant at the same time and in the same band, he was like, they're going to be brother and sister. And I was like, no, this is a romance. Please don't say that. I was like, that should not be the case. But I mean, it almost could have been if they were sleeping with the same dude.
Well, this isn't Shadowhunters.
Goodness.
I feel like we're kind of like all across the board with this book. Like, I feel like for the most part, like we tend to all have similar thoughts, or like maybe like two of us and then like one of us that didn't like it. But now we're 2.5, 3, 4.
I feel like I definitely wouldn't recommend this as like a holiday romance or even like a hardcore romance. But for people who like more plot in their romances than just how the two people get together.
Yeah, I mean, and if you like everything that Tessa Bailey puts out, then I'm sure you like this too, but it's not my vibe.
Because I think she wrote like the band stuff and the TV show stuff and the friendship pretty well. Or the fallout of the friendship.
Yeah, the only thing holiday about this is they want their mothers to play a Christmas Eve concert. That's it.
I got a little teary-eyed at the end when the moms were like, this is for Melody and Beat. And then it was just like a montage of them meeting each other. I thought that was sweet.
I liked that Trina, when Melody was like talking about this, Trina instantly knew like we need to go tell the other mom, and was able to get in her right mind to be able to like take care of that, so he didn't do anything crazy.
They definitely had like a lot of animosity between each. Well, I mean, I guess banging the same dude could create that. Especially if they both were like, yeah, I'm not going to sleep with him again, but they both did. Like,
I felt bad for the dad, the person that Octavia was married to, because like even though we didn't get a lot of him, he felt like such like a sweet guy, like just willing to stand back and let her do her thing. And I mean, he forgave her, even though we didn't get much of that. But it was just like, man, he didn't deserve to be done dirty like that.
I am not a fan of people making decisions for me. Like I hate when it happens in romance where that's kind of like the third act breakup is like there's something going on. Like I think maybe it happened. Oh, well, I don't want to spoil that. But there was a hockey romance that we read that I feel like there was a little bit in that where there was a breakup because of, yeah, we read.
Never mind.
So like I hate that where the dude's like, oh, I gotta save her from this, and like your answer is breaking up. Seriously, like I don't know, that just annoys me. Like, let's talk it out and figure out what I can handle and what I can, like, don't make decisions for me. That's not okay.
I remember what book it was now.
I'm surprised that Kat said that the Melody was annoying. I didn't find anything annoying about her. Like I didn't even think she was like immature.
Really I feel like she was just really anxious.
I don't know what it was. She just irritated the hell out of me all the time. And I agree with you when you said that. Like, he was like, "Oh, I have to break up with her in order to save her," and I'm like, "Why don't you talk to her and you guys could come up with a better plan?"
Because, like, she already knew what was going on. Like, maybe
Yeah,
if, like, she had
exactly.
no idea, then, like, okay, I could have understood a little bit more. But, dude, you already told her. Like, she already knows that this guy's a douche. So, like, what's a little bit more? What's telling her a little bit more?
Also, why not tell your mom of what's happening? Like, get other people involved. Don't bear the weight
Carry
of
the
all this.
burden. Yeah.
I'm like, you can't keep. He's gonna keep coming back for more money, and from what I've read, he's been increasing how much he's been asking every single time. So he's gonna go into the millions and possibly multiple millions. And like,
Blech.
you don't have money to give, and he's like, oh, but I don't want to go into the foundation. At one point, you're gonna go into the foundation's money, and you're gonna pull that money out. And what are you gonna do? You can't pay him for the rest of your life. To keep quiet over something so stupid. Just tell your mom. And she, goodness.
He seemed to think he was going to do that. Anything else we want to discuss with this book? This book that's very much not a Christmas book.
I don't know if I missed it, but, like, when I finally got a sense that it was taking place in New York, I was like, okay, Christmas. And they mentioned Rockefeller Center, and I was, like, waiting for a moment where they talked about, like, the tree, because the lighting of the tree in Rockefeller Center is, like, a really, really big thing. Was that in there and I missed it? Or was that not even mentioned in there?
I don't
remember.
I don't think the lighting of it was in there. I know they talked about, like, the concert would be there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so that's kind of, if it wasn't in there, that seems like a real missed opportunity to sneak in some more Christmas stuff to make it more Christmassy.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just, how do I word this? Overall, I'm, like, disappointed. Like, it was just mid. But, you know, I knew going in that Tessa Bailey was hit or miss for me, so there was a chance. But I feel like, just, like, overall, like, with all the book club picks that we've read this whole year, I was like, this one for sure is going to be up there, and it just wasn't.
Do you remember what your other picks were?
My other picks are the ones that I liked.
No, the other picks for, like, the December book.
Oh, one of them was Love Light Farms.
Oh, damn.
And
I mean, I still like this one, so whatever. But, like,
I think that was
picked Love Light Farms.
I think there was this the month where one of the books was over 400 pages, and I was like, fuck no.
Oh, it was A Merry Little Meet Cute was the other one.
Okay. Wait, so the Tessa Bailey one, Wreck the Halls, A Merry Little Meet Cute, and Love Light, or
Wreck the Halls, the Tessa Bailey one, Merry Little Meet Cute, and Love Light Farms.
Okay, yeah.
Girl, it's like barely over 400 pages.
Girl, no.
It's 412.
No. We have less time to read it. You should be be considerate of our time.
Did you guys listen to the audiobook for this?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Okay. What did you think of the narrators?
I think she's the reason why I hate.
I feel like the narrator was familiar. I didn't look up her name, but it sounded like she might have narrated some Ali Hazelwood stuff.
I find that I find. Okay, Chloe, focus. I find that I come across the narrators in the same genre a lot. So I feel like she might have narrated the other Tessa Bailey that I recently read.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to check because I can't remember. Although her name doesn't seem familiar. Did you listen to Love on the Brain?
Yes.
Okay, she did Love on the Brain.
Okay.
I did not listen to Love on the Brain.
Have you listened to the audiobooks for any of the Ali Hazelwood?
Only the novellas.
Okay.
The short little novellas.
Right.
I can't listen to the Love.
Yeah, I know. She needs to have her Adam Driver voice.
You know, this is totally going like off topic, but I actually found out that he narrated a nonfiction book, and I was gonna, even though I did not care what it was about, I was like, I should just get it from the library just so I could listen to it. The library didn't have it.
I don't know if I have much else to say about it. I thought we would have a little bit more.
I was just disappointed. I thought I was going to have more notes too, like when I started writing them out, but apparently I only wrote 2 bullet points, but one of those bullet points is like 5 lines long.
Well, how did you feel about the spicy scenes?
They were fine. That is something that Tessa Bailey writes really well. However, there were some that I was like, are they against the wall? Like, where are they?
Yeah. Was it? I think this is the first time that I wasn't paying attention if it was in first person or third person. I think it was in third person, right?
It's in
I know they alternate chapters, but
yeah, it is in third. I thought it
okay.
was in first.
Oh, I was gonna text you about this. I read a book that alternated between first person and second person. And usually I don't notice perspectives, but that one I was like, this is so weird.
Is it a thriller?
Was it a thriller?
Yeah, it was.
Was it the
What book is
The-
it?
something
the-
wife?
No, The Quiet Tenant.
Oh, okay. I didn't read that.
It was so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm reading a thriller right now, so
The John Mars book.
Yeah. Got to get my once a quarter thrillers in. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about?
Probably do final thoughts, I guess.
All right. You want to start that?
Sure. So once again, I gave this 4 stars. I loved that it took place in New York. I wish it had more actual Christmassy holiday vibes, but I thought the chemistry between the main characters was good. I kind of liked that they had met in the past and were kind of rekindling something. I liked the story about their moms and how they had a falling out and were part of like this famous band. I thought all of that was interesting. So like, I think the plot of the story was really good. If you like 100% romance, this probably isn't the book for you because it's got a lot more going on than just the romance between the main characters. But I'm happy that I enjoyed a Tessa Bailey book, and now I will go try to read more Tessa Bailey.
For me, I did not enjoy this book as much as Desiree did. I gave this 2.5 stars. The whole plot was fine. I liked the whole thing about, doing like a TV show with a rock band that broke up a long time and featuring like the kids and then reuniting after many years. And there was the whole thing with the blackmailing. I enjoyed the plot. My issue was I can't quite explain it, but I just did not like Melody, who was one of the main characters. I thought she was whiny and annoying and immature. And so she kind of like, for me, a character will make and break a book for me, especially one of the main characters. And she definitely just broke the book for me. Beat was fine, except we mentioned this, he makes decisions by himself when he should really involve other people. And I'm like, don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are allowed to ask other people for help. They're not gonna like throw you out on your back because of you've been doing everything by yourself. It's okay to ask other people. So he has this mentality where he has to do everything by himself, and I hate that. But otherwise, again, the plot was fine. But I tend to love, again, characters tend to make or break a book for me. So Melody was just something about her just didn't click with me, so I did give this book 2.5 stars.
And I gave this book 3 stars. Tessa Bailey is hit or miss for me, and this one was definitely just mid. The plot itself for me is fine, but there are just elements of this book that just felt rushed and messy to me. And the relationship kind of just felt inauthentic as well. I agree that if you're looking for just pure romance, this is probably not it, especially with the blackmail involved. And just this is just not a Christmas book. I feel like if you repackaged this book and took away the Christmas Eve element, this could be just a random romance. Definitely not a Christmas book. So 3 stars. But I'm still going to read more Tessa Bailey as I continue to go through her backlog. But that is everything we have for this live show today. And it is our final one for the year. So
also a final one for me for the foreseeable future.
I was in my head, I was like, do I mention it? Do I not? I don't know. Which I have a question for you after we get off as well about that. But yeah, it's just going to be Kat and me for the next couple of months, at least the foreseeable future. And we'll kind of see where things go. Next month, I don't know what we're reading. Let's find out. I know it's a Lucy Foley book, and that's all I can remember. Okay, next month we're going to be reading The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and our live show is going to be on January 26th at 6 p.m. on this channel, and we're going to post all of the information regarding the live shows on our Twitter and on our Instagram. I'm debating whether we're still going to keep posting it on Twitter since it's kind of become such an internet dumpster fire, but we'll see. But definitely make sure to check out our social medias for all of that coming up. And then for our Pages and Pals date as well, which I don't have off the top of my head. And that'll be on Kathleen's channel. Both of their channels are linked in the description below. But thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye.